What do you make of these comments from Louisiana Governor Bobby Jindal? What went through your mind when you first heard the remarks?
Very surprised and shocked and of course alarmed too, because this is a man who is one of the potential hopeful. And I am just really, I don't have words to describe how shocked and disappointed I was to see the sheer ignorance about our country. And this comes obviously on the back of the Fox story, after which, they have apologized and even British Prime Minister intervened. So I really find it shocking that a politician as senior as him would make such remarks.
He's standing by his comments, as you well know, and really the thrust of his remarks, if you will, is that Islam has a problem. Now, while most people have rubbished his comments about a no-go zone area, many people would agree with him on that front, that Islam has a problem.
Well, I think people who will agree with this statement that Islam has a problem, either they know very little about Islam or because they have inherent issues of prejudice about Islams and Muslims. And I really invite them to engage with Islamic teachings and find out more before they make more fool of themselves, really. And also, I think this kind of assertion is actually against the very ideals of freedom and plurality and respect that we in Britain and in the Western world stand for.
So how do you term what is happening right now as we see, in some cases, British-born Muslims leaving the UK, going off to be involved in fights in Syria, in Iraq in past years, or themselves turning on the countries of their birth, the United Kingdom, and launching terror attacks? If problem is the wrong word, how do you describe what is at play here?
Well, I think the issue is we do have an issue about extremism, violent extremism, but it is not an issue that is exclusive to British Muslim community, and it is not the Muslim young people, men who are for the first time going abroad to fight. So whilst I accept that there is a problem, but the problem is not really Islamic as such. And if you actually engage with the studies that is done on the causes of extremism and radicalization, there are a whole range of issues. And often the experts will say that people who commit violence in the name of Islam, they literally use the faith as a cover when their real motive and reasons for resorting to violence is many other issues, from social deprivation to foreign policy to all sorts of issues. But having said that, we recognize that there is an issue, and which is why British Muslim communities, over and over and again, has been outright and very forceful in their condemnation of these acts.
So with that being said, with you saying that the Muslim community has been out front and forceful in combating these threats, what's your view of the letter then sent by the UK Community Secretary Eric Pickles, who sent a letter to Muslim leaders urging them to do more to tackle extremism?
I think the letter is actually a missed opportunity, and for some Muslims certainly it would come as patronizing, maybe even offensive. And the reason I say that is, if you read the letter, it recognizes that Muslim community has been outright, and the Secretary of State says he's proud of the reaction from all British Muslims. And so his concern seems to be that we need to articulate to young people who may be targeted for radicalization, we need to articulate to them that there is a voice, there is a way of channeling their anger and frustration. And the community, Muslim Council of Britain, has been very active on that. Muslim organizations has been very active on that. The only party which has not been very receptive to the wider community concerns are actually the government. So really what the letter should have been is for government to set out a series of activities that they're going to do, a series of actions that government is going to do to engage with the wider society, especially the Muslim community, to listen to them and to discuss with them what is the way forward. Instead, we see that a minister essentially asking us to justify our position in a country which belongs to us as much as anybody else.